Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Beat the Book. As always, I am your boy Big Al Better. We're gonna just, as you guys know, we do NBA videos here, so we're gonna be going over recapping our last night's bets, seeing how they went, and then we will be jumping into tomorrow's, as in today's Wednesday's games, and giving you guys our leans on the over under the spread, and then we got some four pick parlays for you guys. But as always, we start the video with a recap of how last night's games went. So if you guys aren't interested in that because you're new to the channel, hop to about the 5 minute mark, might be the 7 minute mark, depending on how long it takes me to go through these three games. But that's usually a good rule of thumb, about the 5 minute mark, and then you'll be able to get to the part you're actually here for. But for the people that have been watching and have been here, we're gonna hop into the recap here. So we had three games on the night, right? We had the Bucks Pacers, Grizz Thunder, and T Wolves Lakers, right? Um, we gave out over unders and spreads and four pick parlays for all of those. Freaking hair is just need a haircut, super bad. But for now, we're just gonna freaking grin and bear it. Anyway, so for the first game of the night, we had the Bucks Pacers game. We had the Pacers -4. The first game was 6. It moved to 4. Didn't seem right to me. Didn't know Damian Lillard was playing, um, but didn't end up mattering. The Pacers won that thing pretty handily. We covered the 4 points. Over under was 229. They get up to about 240, so we covered that. So boom, two right out the gate. Love to see that, right? As far as the four pick parlay went, unfortunately, we don't cash that. We had Tyrese Halliburton under 33.5 PRA. He had 16 points, rebounds, and assists at halftime. I was like, oh, this thing's dead. Or it might have been 16 in the first quarter. Like, he was on fire from Jump Street. So that one doesn't cash. Siakam 7 boards. He had 11. So we're going to be playing that one again for sure. Siakam 20 points. He had 24. And then our final one was Gary Trent Jr. 15 plus PRA. I believe the reason he didn't get as much play, he only had 10 minutes on the court. I think he only got as much play as he did in that first game because Dame was out, and I did not know Dame was going to be playing, so that's why I gave that one out. If I had known Dame was playing, obviously we might have adjusted a little bit. Um, so 50% on me for not checking, and 50% on just kind of you know Dame coming back. That's just sort of how things go. So anyway, so we hit the big ones as always, guys. Like for the four pick parlays, I've said it before. I don't know how much you guys are throwing on these. If you're betting everything I give out on the channel, um, don't bet as much on the four picks as you bet on the just main locks, right? Like on Pacers and and the over unders. Like the over unders and the spreads, those should be your big bets. Like if we were just gonna make up units, it should be like $5 on the four pick parlay for fun, and then $50 on the like that should be your ratio. 10 to 1 should be your ratio from parlays to over unders and spreads. In my opinion, obviously you guys do what you want. It's your money. But if you are going to tail these bets, I put much more on the over unders and spreads than I do on the four pick parlays. So those are mostly just for fun. I put those out for entertainment value, and we do hit some. We've hit some before, especially NFL. We hit a bunch of parlays, but those are not meant to be like, hey, 50 50 50, or if your unit's $100, not 100. That's not what it's meant to be. So just so you guys know. Anyway, let's move to the second game here. We got the Grizz taking on the Thunder, right? The over under was 229. I was on the over. I thought the Grizz would show up. The Grizz did show up. They did play better, but the Thunder didn't get as high a scoring, so we still hit the under, which sucks because I was really thinking we were going to hit it. They got to right around the same kind of a number. I think it was 215. Their last game, they got to 217, I think. So they're still stuck in the middle teens. We had the Thunder -14.5. That does cash. They did end up winning the game by more than that. So we split that game. As far as the four pick parlay in this one, we had Jalen Williams 5 plus rebounds. He does cash that again. That's 2 in a row now for the playoffs that he's cashed that number. So something worth keeping in the back of your mind. He had no rebounds at halftime. And I was like, oh man, this might not go. And then I check it in the fourth quarter, and he's at 5 somehow. So it's just magic how he does that. Jaren Jackson Jr., no assists. He had 0 on the whole day. He had a great scoring game. I think he had 26 points and 6 rebounds. So he was active. He had a good game. He just didn't have any assists. So he got a little too busy. Like when they passed him the ball, he was like, I'm going to go score. That was kind of how that game went. Shea, over 39.5 points plus assists. We're gonna have to stop betting this one, at least for the rest of this series. He once again didn't hit it. I think he had 27 points and 4 assists, something along those lines. So he was quite a ways away. He got to 40, or it was 39 or 40 PRA, and I was like excited for a second. I was like, oh man, he hit it. But then I realized, oh no, we took points plus assists, and we took 40, not 38.5. So anyway, he does not hit. And then the last one was John Morant over 32.5 PRA. I think he was at 27. He had a good game. It's just the way that fourth quarter went, because like the fourth quarter, we needed a high scoring fourth quarter to be able to hit this over, and the third quarter was low scoring, and then the fourth quarter was like they barely broke. I don't even think they broke 50. So that's why we hit the under, because we were so close. So anyway, that's how that one goes. As far as the last game of the night, Lakers T-Wolves, we all knew. I told you guys in the video, right? If you guys watched it and you guys were around, you guys know. I told you guys that the line in the first game was 4 points, and it moved to 6 for the second game. And I was like anybody who's got brains, like if we're here to beat the book, so we're on the Lakers -6. But everyone else who just bet the Timberwolves +4 is going to be taking the Timberwolves +6, because they're going to be like, I get 2 extra points. Why would I not bet that? And I said, no. You don't beat the book by playing into the book's hands, which is what that would have been. So we were on the -6. That does cash. We were also on the over 209.5 because it was such a low number. They didn't even break two. I don't think they broke 200. It was super, super low scoring. I think the Lakers were in the 90s and the T-Wolves were in the 80s. So that's how that goes. So unfortunately, we split on that as well. So for the night of the 6 picks we gave out for over, under, and spread, we hit on 4. So that's a 66% night. Pretty solid. For the 4-pick parlay in the Lakers Timberwolves game, I expected an over. So we missed on all 4 of the picks. Dante DiVincenzo over 17.5. He didn't get there. He got to 10. LeBron James 40 plus PRA. Can't even make this up. Ends at 39. Just a slap in the face. Austin Reeves 30 plus, he got to mid 20s, and then Luka 3 plus 3s. He had 2 and he shot 8. So he was 2 of 8, and he had the 2 in the first quarter. So it's just bad luck that he doesn't hit another one. As far as that's how that one goes. And then our final thing is we give you guys out 1 pick per game, a 3-leg parlay. We had Jalen Williams 5 plus rebounds, he hits. We had Pascal Siakam 20 plus points, that hits. But we had LeBron James 40 plus rebounds, assists. He gets 39, so we lose it. That thing was plus 442, and we just missed on hitting that. So that's unfortunate, but that is gambling, and that is sometimes how that goes. So overall, if you were taking, like I said, if you are betting kind of a 10-to-1 ratio parlay to over, unders, and spreads, you had a good night betting. I mean, 66%, you can't do better than that. I mean, pros wish they could hit 66% on the night. You know what I mean? So it was a good night of gambling. We did make money. And yeah, I mean, you can't be mad, right? Especially after last night we didn't we split 50-50, but it wasn't as good. So, and then 3 nights ago we had a terrible night. So last night, real good night, 66%. We'll take that all day long. Anyway, let's hop into today's slate of games. I'm gonna go ahead and switch this screen. I didn't realize this was up on your guys' screen. So we got 3 games, right? Magic and Celtics, Heat and Cavs, and Warriors and Rockets. So we're just going to break these down real quick. As you guys know, the way we do it, I give you guys the over, under, and the spread, 4-pick parlay, and then at the very end, I'll give you guys a 3-pick parlay. We'll build it on the screen here, and yeah, we'll just take 1 prop bet from each game. It's my favorite prop bet from the 4 picks I give out. So that's kind of how it is. We've yet to hit one. We have been 3 of 4 on, I believe, 7 of the parlays we've given out. I think we've only given out 1 per game. So I think we're at like 12 games played, and we've had 7 of those get to 3 of 4, like 1 off, and these are all plus 500 or more. So it's just like we're knocking on the door of success right now. So hopefully with these games, hopefully we just hit all 3, and then we're just all the way back into the green, right? So anyway, without wasting too much time, let's hop into it. We got the Magic taking on the Celtics. Spreads at 10.5. Over under really, really low. Lowest one we've seen so far, 197.5. We're going to be on the over here. The Magic Celtics games, obviously the last one, they were under this. They were in the 90s and the 70s or whatever it was. Way, way under, which is fine. But the 3 games they played on the season, only one of those games went under this number. The other 2 did get to the over this number. So we're going to play the odds here. If you count the playoff game, you've got 2 games that went over, 2 games that went under. So we're just going to split the difference, and we're just going to play the over because this number is so low. If it was 205, I'd probably be like, okay, let's dance with the under. But with it being under 200, I think the second game can get higher scoring than the first game was. Jason Tatum is questionable for this game, which I think helps the Magic a lot. Um, I saw that he was doubtful earlier today, but then when I checked it right before I got on here to make the video, it said he was a game time decision. So I don't know if he's going to play or not. If he does not play, then I love the Magic and I love the over because Tatum is not a slouch on defense. He plays good defense. But if he does play, I still like the over because Tatum scores points. That's where I would question the Orlando plus 10.5 because if he plays, then maybe we're back on the Celtics. But I went into these picks assuming he does not play. So keep that in mind as we get closer to tip off and we see how the day kind of progresses. Hopping into the 4-pick parlay we've got on this one. So we're on the plus 10.5 with Orlando. I think they'll play him tighter, and then I want the over because the number's so low. As far as the 4-pick parlay goes, we have Jaylen Brown, 35 plus points, rebounds, assists. Now, that number specifically will change. The odds will change if Tatum plays. But as of now, the book doesn't think Tatum's going to play. I don't think Tatum's going to play. My hair freaking keeps getting in my face. So if Tatum plays, then I would take him for like 30 again, like we did in the first game. But if Tatum does not play, this one's a cash. They had a game where Tatum didn't play. First game against these guys earlier on in the season. Jaylen Brown had 35 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. So I love 35 plus PRA for him in this game if Tatum does not play. Then we've got Derek White, 25 plus PRA. In any games where Tatum or Brown doesn't play, White goes off, and White had 30 points in the last game, even when Tatum and Brown both played. So I liked Derek White, 25 plus PRA. Then we got Paolo Banchero, 4 plus assists. He cashed that in the first game, and we took him for that. And then we have Franz Wagner, 22 plus points. Now, Franz Wagner, he only played in 2 of the games. He played 1 regular season game against these guys, and then he played in the playoffs. Both games, 23 points. So 22 is right under that number, and I expect the Magic to play better in this game now that they've kind of acclimated, I guess, a little bit to what they expect from the Celtics. So I love Franz there for 22. This thing pays out plus 675. So that's a 4-pick, nice and easy. 35 plus from Jaylen, points, rebounds, assists. Derek White, 25 plus points, rebounds, assists. Paolo Banchero, 4 plus assists. And Franz Wagner, 22 plus points. And that is the 4-pick parlay that pays plus 675 over on DraftKings. Moving to the next game, we've got the Heat taking on the Cavs again. The over under set at 211.5. Now, they did cross this number in the first one. I'm going to pull it up here real quick. They got to, I believe it was 221 first game in the playoffs. The Heat did not cover. We had them to cover. They did not cover. But yeah, 221 was the total. So this one being set at 211.5, it feels like the over's the right spot here. So we're going to be on the over, and by we I mean me. That's my pick. You guys fade it if you hate it, and if you love it, then you just ride or die, right? The spread's still 12. It was 11.5 or 12.5 in the first game. The fact the book didn't move it tells me they feel like the Heat left some things on the court that they could have made this game a lot closer. And actually, when you do go into it, which I did, because I'm a professional, when you look at the box score, the Heat lost the first quarter by 7 points. They lost the second quarter by 1 point. So that's only 8 points, right, if you're following. Then they tied the third quarter. It was the fourth quarter where they gave it up. They lost the fourth quarter by 13 points. That's why it was a 21 points. If you don't lose that fourth quarter, you only lose by 8. That's a cover. So that's why I'm on them, plus the 12.5 here. I think they'll do enough this time in the third quarter. They won't tie it, they'll win it. Or in the second quarter, they won't lose it, they'll win it. And that will do enough to keep us within this 12.5 margin. Or I guess it's 12. So I like the Heat here, plus 12. I think they'll play better defense, and their offense will be better. And you got to remember, they were coming off of 2 days of rest because of the play-in games. Whereas now, they're going to have the same amount of rest as their opponent. So the Cavs were always kind of supposed to win that game, I guess, in hindsight. So I think a rested Heat team, or at least as rested as their opponent, the 12 points is a little too much for that, for the Cavs to cover. Not that the Cavs can't. I just think with the way the Heat have been playing and how they played down the stretch, they'll be able to cover 12. Let's hop into this 4-pick parlay here. I've got Duncan Robinson, 2 plus 3s. He did cover this in the first game. He made 2. We got Davion Mitchell, 12 plus points. He had 18 in the first game. He's been a big focal point of their offense through these last stretch and in the specifically the play-in games and the first playoff game. I've got Ty Jerome over 16.5 PRA. He had 18 points, I think 6 rebounds, 5 assists. It was something crazy. He was up in the 20s for PRA. We get him at 16.5 as his line. Love that. We're on the over. And then Bam Adebayo, 32.5 PRA. He had 37 PRA in the first game against these guys. I was going to take him for 35. Then I went and looked at his. I was flat 35. It was plus 140 or something. Then I went and looked at his over-under. It was 32.5. I said, okay, yeah, we'll just take that instead. So this thing pays out plus 1,200. It's pretty high. I think the riskiest thing on this is the Duncan 2+3s. Because as you guys know, 3-point shooting is just kind of streaky in the NBA. But if he can hit those again, I like all the other lines to kind of hit. Ty Jerome at half, like a little less than half of what, or I guess a little more than half of what he hit in the first game. I don't mind that at all. And Bam's gonna bam. You know what I mean? Like Bam Adebayo is a beast. So for him to get to 32.5, like, could it be tough? Sure, but he's Bam Adebayo. He's the main guy, right? So him and Hero are the guys that score all the points, get all the rebounds, and the assists. So I like that there. Moving into the last game, we got Golden State and Houston. Now, this is one we nailed. We had the over under the spread in the first game. We were on the under. It was 211.5. They didn't even break 200. They were at 170 something. And the spread was 1 point, and we had Golden State +1. They ended up winning by 9 or 10 points. This game has moved to 3 points, and the Rockets are favored. We are on Golden State +3. I don't even really want to argue about it. I don't want to discuss it. I don't really even want to ponder it. It's just they already won. We know Jimmy, Steph, Draymond. We know all the things they bring to the table. So we're taking the +3. You're going to give us more points. Now, this is where if you guys were wanting to fade this, I totally understand it because I've been sitting here telling you the book wants us on this. The book wants us on this. The book might want us on Golden State because they think Houston will win. I'm just going to take Golden State because it's Golden State. Do they need this game? No. They already won the one on the road. They just need to hold serve at home. They win the series. But I think they're going to want to get this series over as fast as possible, get some rest, and wait for the next team that's going to show up, right? And if it ends up being Lakers, Timberwolves, or something like that, I don't know. But yeah, we're going to be on the +3 with Golden State. Even if they lose the game, I think they'll lose by 1 or 2. As far as the over-under, we're going to be on the under because all the games except for one in the regular season were under, and the only game that went over was an overtime game. So I love the under here. I think both teams are both going to keep playing hard defense. They're not just going to let the other team score. So I like this here, and I like the +3 with Golden State because they already won the first one, and they're the team, right? Houston's the 2 seed. I get it. And if you're on Houston, don't mind it. But for them to be -1 and lose the game, and now they're -3, I don't know if they're going to bounce back that hard. Hopefully, I have a ticket for the Rockets to win the whole thing. So I'm not against them winning. I have to play the reality of what's in front of me. And you got Steph playing great, Jimmy playing great, Draymond playing great, and Pajemski playing incredible. I have to take +3 with the team that's kind of favored to win this series, right? As far as the 4-pick parlay, we're going to take Sengun over 20.5 points. He had 24, 26 in the first game. He was the only guy really doing anything. So his line being at 20.5 feels too easy. So we're taking the over on his points. We're taking Jalen Green under 18.5 points. He only had 9 or it was 11. So his line being almost at 20. I'm completely good taking the under here. I expect him to continue to struggle. I believe he's a rookie. I may be mistaken. If I am, let me know in the comments. This is his first playoff series, so I don't mind taking his under at all. Fred VanVleet, under 2.5 rebounds. He had 1 in the game. So I love that. And then our final one is Sengun, under 4.5 assists. It seems very high to me, which maybe we're getting got, and I haven't watched enough Rocket game to know that we should be not taking this under. He only had 1 also in the first game. So I kind of love that. This 4-pick parlay pays +950. It's all Rockets. I didn't take a single Warrior in this. Sengun over 20.5 points. Jalen under 18.5 points. VanVleet under 2.5 rebounds. And Sengun under 4.5 assists. Like I said, plays out +950 over on the DraftKings. Now, to close out this video, we're going to switch the scene here. Boom. We're going to jump into this. We're going to make a 3-pick parlay real quick, and we're going to show you guys what that thing pays out. Now, for this first video, or first pick, we're going to go ahead and go to the Paolo Banchero 4+ assists. So Paolo, boom, we're going to chunk him down to 4. It's -220, which isn't great. Well, we got to clear this page, huh? Boom, see ya. All right, Paolo Banchero, 4 plus assists. Then next game, going Heat Cavs. And the line we're going to go with on this one, we're going to go with points. Davion Mitchell, 12 plus. Davion Mitchell, 12. Bada bing. No big deal. Last pick on this thing, Golden State, Houston Rockets. We're going to take, I mean, we could go either way. I think we should take Sengun with the 20.5 points. 21 plus points. All right, bada bing. There is your 3-pick parlay. So we have Paolo Banchero, 4 plus assists. He did that in the first game. Davion Mitchell, 12 plus points. He had 18 in the first game. Then Alperen Sengun, 21 plus. He had 24 or 26 in the first game, but I know it was over this number. This 3-pick parlay pays out plus 389 over on the old DraftKings. Yeah, I feel pretty darn good about it. If you wanted to take out, Sengun and throw in the under on his assists, or if you want to take Jalen under on his points, you could do that as well. But I think we just stick with the guy that's shown that he's going to show up and play hard in this series to keep showing up and playing hard in this series. So that is going to be your 3-pick parlay. That is going to be the video for you guys. As always, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. There is a hockey video out if you guys want to check out the NHL and see what our boy Matty Betts picks are for that. That is up on the channel. It'll be, I believe he's going to be pretty consistent moving forward. So those will be up every day as well, giving you guys his picks on the Stanley Cup playoffs. And yeah, I mean, it's a great time to be watching sports. We got NBA, NHL. It's great, man. It's awesome. We love sports over here on Beat the Book. And so, yeah, without further ado, thank you guys as always for tuning in. Please like and subscribe, share with your friends, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.